Kyle, have you ever had like when you do the scratching thing when they're like trying to get away with it and it's like this silent battle to just like check them? Like you that better not go any
No,
fucking
there's no
further
silent
than
battle. I think maybe some people don't talk during sex or like communicate well, but like I'd be like, whoa, 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 the fuck are you doing? Are you trying to sneak a scritch on me? Because that ain't gonna work. We need to go find you some mittens. I'll put mittens on you and duct tape them to your fucking wrists. Like you're not gonna scratch me. The last girl that scratched me, I remember distinctly that I ended up tying her up to avoid any more scratching. I tied her hands together.
This is great.
I've told the story before. I was in that fucking hotel room, fucked up on Adderall. I couldn't come. I fucked for like 6 hours. I tied her hands together like this with like the iron from the hotel. When she scratched me the second time, I jumped up, mad, grabbed the iron, and like turned around, and she's like, "Whoa." Because she just met me.
Wait, the steam iron for clothes?
Yeah.
Oh, Jesus.
And I start walking toward her with the iron. Put a little scare in her, you know?
Yeah.
And then at the last minute, I put the iron down, I get the cord out, I tie her hands together, zip, and then I like toss the thing over the other side of the bed.
At the last minute, as the steel's approaching her cranium, I divert.
You know, she wasn't your average. That was that crazy bitch that had the snake wrapped around her neck when I met her, and the snake was like licking at me and shit. She was a weird lady. But yeah, she was scratching me. I didn't know her. You're not gonna fuck. I didn't like any of that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now you're being scratched by every other guy she's ever scratched.
I mean, potentially, yeah, I guess. I guess.
Now you're getting little flakes of back skin of some other guy.
See, that's the other thing. Like, who's to say there isn't something gross under her nails that I don't want under my skin? Don't fucking scratch me.
There absolutely is. Nails are nasty.
Fine.
She was a snake girl I met on a park bench. They're not fine.
You met her on a park bench?
Well, it was the bench outside the hotel. She was out there.
Okay.
Wow.
Well, that's more natural. So you just having a cigarette.
Convenient hotel.
She was crying when I found her. So
she was what when you found her?
Crying.
About what?
She was tearful. She had some kind of a fight or an argument with her associates.
I was just threatened with an iron.
And you're like, hey, I've got a happy serum. It takes a little work to get it out.
I'll tell you what, I usually don't approach women, and when I do, it usually isn't like, oh shit, I'm just gonna fuck her now. Like that's a real home run, I'll admit. But I was so horny because we just had left a strip club. I don't go to strip clubs a lot, but we had went to one, and I was like, now I remember why we don't go to strip clubs. Like we just spent like $500 to get horny. Like what the fuck was that?
Damn, that was a horrible deal.
It's like I just saw an asshole wink at me for $20 a minute. Like, and now I'm back at my hotel, and there this like cute-ish girl was on the bench. So,
I was gonna ask on a 1 to 10 scale, like, was it any port in the storm?
At best, you know, like
but you have a heart.
She wasn't ugly, and she wasn't like saggy and gross or fat. She was so,
like
so
a
it was a
7 or
real
better to
win.
me.
It was 1 a.m. outside my hotel. She was the best. She was for that. She was a 10.
She was the best girl on that whole bench.
Yes,
she was the hottest girl.
Her best
outside.
attribute is she was there.
Yeah, she was the hottest girl outside the Best Western at 2 a.m.
She's scratching and getting tied up, like.
Well, that's not good though. For Kyle, Kyle doesn't like.
I know Kyle's not all this stuff, but for Woody,
that's
you
not
just
the best
met?
part. Yeah, like the best part. I'll tell it again because Dick's here, but he hasn't. She liked to be hit, and she kept telling me to hit her harder and harder and harder, and I'm incrementally slapping her harder and harder, and my increments are small because I don't want to hurt her, and but we've gotten to the point where I'm hitting her pretty fucking hard. Like I would not want to be hit as hard as I'm hitting her. You know what I mean?
Hitting her? Are you slapping her in the cheek?
Slapping
her in the face.
I'm giving her like in the face, full face slapping with my full hand.
Cool.
Like, and I'm starting off at like 6 inches from her face. She's like harder every time.
Yeah.
And so anyway, that was our evening together. The next day, my cousin comes into the room. He's pissed because he didn't get. It's a double room. That was his bed. You know what I mean? We've been fucking in the room all night. He had to sleep in the truck. So he's pissed off.
Scott?
It's 8 a.m. Scott comes in. We got to work at 10. We got to go like record all day filming this video. And he's just like, dude, I didn't get any fucking sleep in that goddamn truck. People in and out of the parking lot, this and that. He's legitimately mad. And just then she comes out of the bathroom with like a towel wrapped around her head from like her shower. And I go, it's not my fault. It's hers. Come here, you bitch. And I grab her, turn her around, and smack her in the face like 8 out of 10 hard.
like Turner.
Ow! and I turn around at Scott and I was like, should I give her a little more or something like that? And he's just like, oh fucking hell! I'm sorry. Oh no, it ain't your fault, honey. No, Kyle, don't hit her no more. It's just like, all right. You sure I'll give her enough? No, it was just so good.
She's like, really? Are you sure, Scott? I could use another one.
Yeah.
I was
She
bad.
played along so well. It was so fucking funny. I gotta bring that up to him next time I see him. That was one of my favorite little moments. But yeah, I don't want to get fucking scratched by anybody or anything. I don't like that.
Yeah, I don't want to be scratched.
Yeah, I'm not on that team.
No hickeys either. Don't be fucking like breaking my skin and like wounding me. That's not what we're here for.
Or spit upon.
Oh,
You know, when you see like someone spit in a
Spit
professional
upon.
sport. Yeah.
Spat upon.
There's something spat upon. Yeah. It's just disgusting. Some guy in the NHL spit on someone just a couple weeks ago and they suspended him for a few games.
You know a
Like-
word I hate?
Ugh.
Spittle.
Spittle.
Like what
Yeah.
a baby gets or old people
No.
at,
Well,
at
I
either
thought
bookend
spittle
of
was
life.
the name for like a bit of spit, if you will. Like
Like a
when
singular.
like spittle, like some spittle would fall from your lip.
Yeah, that might be
Is
it.
it not?
Yeah, no, I don't know.
Yeah, that's what it is.
I think you're right.
Is that the worst, right? Like another dude spitting in your face? Is there anything like you'd much rather get slapped?
I wouldn't.
I'd
would
rather get punched than slapped.
I wouldn't want to be molested. That would be the worst.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh no,
Definitely.
I
Never
like,
again.
Never again. 3 times is enough, I say.
Like
Fool me
every
once.
New
New
Year's.
where they just cupped his butt and maybe touched his taint. To me, that is way less of an offense than spit on my face.
Dude, he pulled him close,
Mm-hmm.
reached back, and
Mhm.
gave him 2 fingers in the gooch. Like
Yeah.
Who
like
did
gooch.
this?
Yeah.
That executive to the big black muscle guy who's an actor on
Terry
TV.
Crews.
Oh, I
Terry
don't like
Crews.
that.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah. I like
And Terry
it, though.
Crews complained, and they took the other guy's side. They're like, "Oh, be a
Mhm.
man, this and that." Oh, if that happens,
Mm.
you'd hit him. And it's like, you want me to hit the rich white executive who just molested me in front of a bunch of rich white people
No,
in
I
a rich
want you
white
to give
people
him a
house?
hickey.
Can you
Show him
imagine
his
if
balls.
the
You're Terry Crews.
man, that I didn't like that at all. I didn't like that at all. That
Worse
story.
not.
I like. I went to prison with a guy who was related to Terry Crews.
Such a
And,
great way to start stories.
I'm gonna use it too.
Was that your opener for the bench girl?
Yeah. I
I went
told
to
her that.
prison
She
with
was,
a guy who knows
dude,
Terry
she was
Crews.
sopping when she heard about my Terry Crews story.
Yeah.
Frothing.
Oh, she couldn't get enough.
Mm.
Yeah, if Terry Crews can be taken advantage of like that, when our Hollywood careers take off, we won't be safe either.
Never.